Good evening, everyone, and welcome tonight on this holiday weekend for the United States. And I know we have many, many viewers that watch from other countries, but we are on a holiday weekend here celebrating July the 4th tomorrow, which is Independence Day. Huge holiday, and we're very thankful. And I just want to start tonight and let you know that we are thankful for our country. Thank you for all of you that are a part of this community that are here in the United States. It is 9 o'clock on the East Coast here and 4 a.m. in Ukraine. Now, I want to be sensitive to you and your family over the next couple of evenings. That would be July 3 and July 4th. So I am going to do a more concise update tonight. Zhenya going to rest up a couple of days, and we'll be ready for an extended update on Tuesday night, because I know people are traveling, people are with families, and so much your support is appreciated each evening that you are here. But today, some major things have happened on day 130. I've put them together, and we're ready to go, and I want to jump right into it. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for being a part of this community, not only here in the United States, where we are celebrating our great country. And I know it's not Memorial Day and it's not Veterans Day, but I also want to say a big thank you to our military, our police, all of those fire people, 911 dispatchers. You know, just these things that make America great. So for those that are serving and have served, thank you very much in any of these capacities. May God bless you and God bless America. Now, I want to jump right to it. Today is July the 3rd. It's already July the 4th in Ukraine, early in the morning there, and very, very active this morning with military action. But we're going to start here. I've got 6 key things that I'm going to share with you tonight. Number one, we're going to talk about first the attacks in Belarus, Belgorod, and Melitopol. I have 3 blue arrows drawn there for you. The first one going into the north, top center, into Belarus. Now, we have conflicting reports. We do know that strikes did happen in Belarus. I just do not see the Ukrainian military striking Belarus. I think it is a complete false flag event. There is no purpose for them to attack Belarus. Right now, they are focused on the east. They are focused on the provisions that are coming in, maybe from that part of Russia, bumping up against the occupied zones in the far east, of course, Crimea, and of course, all of the occupied territories. So 100% it is completely illogical that Ukraine would strike Belarus. However, I can tell you for a fact that Belarus was struck. So who struck Belarus? Well, either Belarus struck Belarus, but most likely Russia has struck in Belarus, probably in full cooperation with Minsk, with Lukashenko, all for the purpose of the false flag events, further reasoning to draw the Belarusian army into the event, into the war on the northern side. And of course, it really wouldn't be the Belarusian army. They're ill prepared, but it would be the Russian army partnering with them. And we know 7 battalions are there on the northern border. So we shall see what the update is on that. But I can tell you that there were strikes in Belarus, but very confident that it was false flag and Russia attacking strategic locations, provoking Belarus. In fact, we'll talk about that more in just a moment with a very famous person who gave some commentary on that today. Secondly, I want you to look in the upper right. Now, on this one, I don't know. Belgorod, right there where the blue arrow is pumping into Russia there, is very, very strategic city. And one of the reasons it's strategic is because it's the place where many shipments coming from the eastern part of Russia come through Belgorod, and then they filter into Ukraine. We're talking rail cars full of military equipment, munitions, supply lines. It comes through Belgorod. And I can tell you that Belgorod was smashed last night. So 2 things here. Ukraine could be attacking. I don't have confirmation. Nobody has confirmation. Could be attacking strategic targets there in Belgorod to slow the transport of equipment down. It could be Russia doing false flag events. But here's what I can tell you 100% tonight. Over the last 24 hours, Belgorod was smashed. I'm talking hit extremely hard, massive explosions, massive damage. I know more will be coming out. We've been talking about that for months, but the attacks over the last 24 hours were definitely stepped up. Now, the third area I want to talk about tonight, on key number one tonight, is Melitopol. Of course, Melitopol, that is the city where we covered early in the war with Mayor Ivan Fedorov, who was kidnapped behind enemy lines. He was exchanged later for 9 soldiers. He's still reporting from there. But we've got good news. Russia had set up a military base at the Melitopol Air Base. Melitopol Air Base, very, very large. A lot of infrastructure there, and Russia had taken it over and was using it as a base and as a military site. Well, it was put out of commission over the last 24 hours by Ukraine. They struck and destroyed a lot of the infrastructure. Melitopol Air Base is not functioning. It's not able to be used. Ukraine did a phenomenal job. And here's the thing that the Defense Department of Ukraine reported. We struck the military targets at the Melitopol airport, and not one civilian was touched. They were very proud to say that. It was not random. Why was it important for Ukraine to say that? Because unfortunately, that is their dirt. The enemy has occupied it, but they had to smash their own airport. And even as Zhenya said last night, he was telling you, if you listen very closely, that in that eastern area that we'll look at in just a moment, Ukraine has to destroy its own roads many times to slow the enemy down. The good news on the Melitopol side is Ukraine hit the target. They did a phenomenal job, and not one civilian lost their life. Key number 2 today, July 3rd, 2022, day 130, is Putin signed a new declaration for mobilization. Now, I want to explain that to you tonight. Mobilization is not just a draft. Now, here in America, we would call it a draft. Over there, they'll call it mobilization. They will call it conscription. And I know everyone knows those words as well, but for us, it's the draft. But this mobilization, I want to make sure that the world understands this. This is not Putin signing an order that they can just go out and get more troops, which they can. That's already established. It's already happening. But the mobilization order that Putin signed today was governmental. And what do I mean by that? That means that the government, the Russian government, the dictatorship, can mobilize more private business, private industry, private sectors, private finance. They can mobilize more of the infrastructure of Russia to put toward the war effort. It would be like we're taking over, if it was America, and we are mobilizing the Ford motor plant there in Detroit or some other place to stop making cars and to start making weapons or infrastructure or bullets, whatever it may be. But that is the declaration, and it was signed today, July the 3rd, 2022 in Russia. Thirdly, I want to look real closely tonight and at 3 places: Kryvyi Rog, Lysychansk, and Slavyansk. Unfortunately, folks, we've been talking about this a couple of days, and we'll look at it closer in just a moment, but I want to go here first. Today, Kryvyi Rog was the target. So this would have been major target number 7. In fact, I've been showing you guys this with this graphic, and here we go. Number 7 there, of course, you've got Kyiv, Zhytomyr, and then Mykolaiv, and then Kremenchuk, and then Odessa, up to Sumy, now down to Kryvyi Rog. And of course, the stars are indicating the continual battle that is going on. So Kryvyi Rog was the major target over the last 24 hours. And here's what I can tell you about Kryvyi Rog now. That was the city of safety for Zhenya and our team. They were basing some of the infrastructure work we were pushing into the east out of Dnipro. but their city of safety, city of refuge, and they had to drive, but we're trying to stay safe, was Krivoy Rog. Now, of course, they're back home safely, and Krivoy Rog today was the cruise missile center of attack. Now, I want to look closely here as well into the other two areas, which would be Lysychansk and Slavyansk. Now, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to give you the official report. This is not from me. I've already had it from multiple sources, including the governor of the Lugansk region, as well now, just a little while ago, from the Defense Department. It was in Ukrainian. They also put it out in English. But after heavy fighting for Lysychansk, the defense forces of Ukraine were forced to withdraw from their occupied positions and lines. Last night, we shared the video of some of the Russian soldiers and the Chechen soldiers in the middle of Lysychansk, and Zhenya said, listen, they can be there, but until our generals, until our government says that Lysychansk has fallen, we hold on. Our guys are doing a good job. Well, unfortunately, tonight, we do have to have the sad report that Lysychansk has fallen. Now, I want to zoom in here. This eastern part is extremely hot right now, and I want to update this map for you. So this is a zoom in map that I use. It's very good quality, but I just want to show you a couple things because the red here now is inaccurate and it's not been updated in about the last 36 hours. So I'm going to go to red, and here is Privila, right here, Privila. We've talked about that town before. Unfortunately, there's a river. That's what that hook is. That's a river. Russia has crossed it. They have taken this region. So really, this is more accurate. Now, Lysychansk has fallen, and they have pushed in from behind it, as well as from this southeastern side. So you have Lysychansk now fallen. Also, over the last few days, Zolota has fallen, Vrubika, Hirsky. So unfortunately, folks, this is more of the accurate pinch right now. You know, if you were to go back over the history and maybe go back 20 days and look at our streams, you will see how the map has changed. And unfortunately, you know, folks, you know, there was days we were talking about Severodonetsk and how Russia was coming in and they were not in the city. Well, now they've got that. Now they've come across the river, Lysychansk. It's very, very difficult there. Now, Zhenya's out, but this is the town, Siversk, where we were just 48 hours ago providing humanitarian aid, military aid to. You can see now completely encircled. And many of those people that you saw in video will definitely, they're definitely in for a very difficult time over the next few days. Now, the second target of major importance here is Slavyansk. So Slavyansk today, along with Krivoy Rog, became the major attack sites. They're coming down from Izum and they're coming in from Liman. Non-stop shelling. As well, Kramatorsk. Now, folks, you could probably go back 60 days on our streams 2 months ago, and we told the world that Kramatorsk and Slavyansk will be the ultimate goals to finish out that eastern region. Unfortunately, basically, the entire oblast or region of Lugansk is now under Russian control. All of the areas you're looking at here with Slavyansk and Kramatorsk, this is not the Lugansk Oblast, but this is actually Donetsk Oblast. And this, of course, is the next big target. So we will be watching, of course, we will be watching Siversk. We have a personal attachment there with the aid that we've done. Of course, Bakhmut, Soledar, these are all cities you'll hear in your local news, and Slavyansk and Kramatorsk. 5 major targets here and many, many battles are happening right this very minute. 4:12 a.m. over in Ukraine. So there's the update, and unfortunately, I'm very sad to say Lysychansk has fallen. Now, fourth key tonight, and this comes from the famous person. I promised you a very famous person. Who is the famous person? Garry Kasparov. You say, I think I've heard that name. Yeah, one of the world's most famous chess grandmasters. He's a Russian, but as you know, or maybe do not know, he's been prominent in the news over the last 10, 15 years, not for chess, but for his political activism in Russia. He has stood very strongly against the Putin regime, not just during this war, but for 10 to 15 years, telling the world that this was coming. You don't have to take my word for it. Just Google it. Google or go to YouTube and pull up Garry Kasparov and look at his commentary over the last 10 to 15 years. He really has been like the voice of one crying in the wilderness, like John the Baptist saying, listen, what you think is in Russia is not there. Putin's a bad guy. He's a dictator. He's a murderer. He's evil. He's going to go to war. Garry Kasparov has been saying this for over 10 years, and here we are. Well, Garry Kasparov came out today and he made a statement about not Russia, but about Belarus. Garry Kasparov, of course, as a chess grandmaster and one of the greatest chess players of all time, he has the ability to see many moves ahead. He came out directly warning the world. He says, I've already told you about Russia, and we're seeing it happen. He came out today and he says, Belarus will be next. Belarus will be forced to attack Ukraine, and he put his name on it. Quote, he says, the things that are happening, not just the false flag events, but strategically, Putin and Lukashenko are up to madness. He actually called Lukashenko like a pawn. Couldn't you imagine that? And for those of you that are watching tonight, you know Russian, that would be the peshka. He said he's like a pawn, and that's a slang in Russian. You're a peshka, the peshka. Means you're just a pawn. You're under the control of somebody else. Well, Putin is the king or the queen, and Lukashenko, the president of Belarus, is the peshka. Garry Kasparov said the peshka is under the control of Putin, and he will do anything to make Putin proud. And he is predicting that in the coming days, coming weeks, Belarus will be forced to get active militarily in northern Ukraine. I know that many of you, key number 5 to understanding day 130 tonight, many of you are wondering how many HIMARS are there? Are they there? What's the real truth about it? Zhenya already told you 777s are there. In fact, they were right beside them watching them fire. They just couldn't tell because those are the things we couldn't tell on location. But they've moved now. And so, I mean, he was there right beside them. HIMARS are there. But I can tell you this, many people have wondered, okay, how many HIMARS are actually there? Today, Ukraine gave the official report. Drum roll, please. How many, drum roll, where's my drum roll? Brrr. How many HIMARS are there? Three. I know you guys wanted me to say 40. 30, 20, 3. Now, there are 3 more that are in western Ukraine that have not been deployed yet. So we have 3 on the front lines, and this is an actual picture from the front line. That is not some picture off some website. That is a picture from a Ukrainian soldier saying, yes, we have them. We have 3. And 3 more on the way. Very thankful they were, but they said, can you please send us some more? So they are there. 3. Finally, number 6 tonight on the keys. Turkey blocks. Now listen, Turkey is the enigma here. We call it like it is up in here. Genia will call it like it is. I call it like it is. We're very direct with Scholz, watching closely. We've been direct with Macron. Of course, we tell the truth about Putin and Lukashenko. Our support of the Baltic states, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, is off the charts. Moldova, the president down there, the lady president's pretty bold. Turkey, Erdogan has been on the fence and been very, very goofy to understand. I don't know what, I'm sorry to use that word goofy, but it's very difficult to understand where Turkey stands. Why would I say that? Well, a week ago, they're helping Russia steal grain. And today, Turkey blocked a Russian cargo ship full of stolen Ukrainian grain. They detained it. They have blocked it from transporting in the Black Sea. So, folks, I have no idea what Turkey's doing. They're going to do whatever they want, evidently, because as we told you a night or two ago, they want to ultimately end up being the number one army in the world. But the bottom line is Turkey has blocked a Russian-flagged cargo ship full of stolen Ukrainian grain. Well, folks, that's your 6 keys. Hope you enjoyed the graphics tonight. Did a little different thing to highlight what topic we were talking about and make it interesting for you. Also kind of make it quick and hard-hitting, and that'll be for tonight and also tomorrow night, because I want to make sure you have time and spend it with your family and friends, and you're so committed to being here each night. It's so much appreciated. Thank you. Finally, on the waterfront, this is a project we are working on. Many of you, and for those of you that are new and watching, we're working on some strategies to get some clean water into some of these frontline cities. It's extremely difficult. It's not simple. It's not easy, but we have a community here where we can raise funds. We've proven that, and we're continuing to raise funds, and that will not stop. But secondly, we have a lot of military guys in here, and tonight I'd like to give a special shout out to Medic Trevor. He sent me in a full report on water systems. I mean, that cat's smart. Of course, Medic Trevor. But he explained it. He explained the situation, how it works, even with, as Jania was saying, the ground is destroyed, so toxic, chemicals everywhere, shells everywhere, even well water that we could find, of course, is tainted. River water is tainted. But he gave some good ideas on some systems that could still work, that are portable, and that would be not so expensive to get to the front lines and very possible. Some of these are even the size that, as I am planning to be in Ukraine in September, I could even carry some myself, or we could ship some into Poland. Our guys could get them in Warsaw, and we could get them across the border, no problem, to our team there inside Ukraine. So we are working on that. Our community is working on that. Jeffrey Burnett, thanks to you for being the moderator as always. Jeffrey Burnett's a part of some different groups out in California. He says, listen, get me some more information. I'll get it to my groups. We're going to make this happen. We're not going to let people thirst to death, and we're going to do our due diligence. The picture I have for you is that's basically what they do. When the shelling, or they take the risk, they'll go get some water and fill a jug. So that's the reality. We're going to do our best. So thank all of you for being here tonight, July 3rd. Happy birthday, United States. We'll give you one more happy birthday tomorrow. Might even sing happy birthday. God bless America. God bless Ukraine. Peace to you all. And thank you all for all of your support and for being here. Remember, continue to pray for Ukraine. Continue to give at blwc.org. I know times are tough financially right now. Gas is expensive, but this is a world event, and we cannot let up. We will not let up. Day 130, July 3rd. Happy birthday, America. 6 key events. You're now fully caught up, and we'll see you in 23 hours. Good night to you.